All right.
Do you want
I'm ready
me to
to go.
give the intro a shot, JJ? Do you want me to try it?
Hey everybody, welcome back. And then he just stops and he goes, "Welcome back to the Can't Sit Still podcast." Hang it up right now, delete it right now, and go listen to Mind Grenade.
What? No.
Don't listen to it. Don't listen to any other pod. And then he just
I'm
leaves.
telling
He
you,
leaves the
I'm
call.
telling you, I can do it. Give me one shot at it. One shot at it.
Tell you what, it's your special day. Whenever you're ready,
All right.
take it away.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Can't Sit Still podcast, a podcast where we go through current event and news topics, trying to make it both entertaining and informative. We avoid more of the mainstream news, but bringing more of the odd, the funny,
Jacob, you're
and
fired.
the absurd.
You are fired.
Perfect. Oh man. Yeah, but think about how cool that would have sounded with this new voice that got on right now.
Isn't it awesome how when you're sick, you sound almost better than your normal voice?
It's almost insulting because everyone says that. Every time I get sick, I get the flu once a year, like clockwork. Although this year it happened a little early. And everyone always goes, "Dude, you should just keep your voice like that." And I'm like, "It hurts to talk." And they're always just like, "Nah, do it." Yeah, everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is the Can't Sit Still podcast. This time we have a guest. He's been on here before from the Mind Grenade podcast. Go ahead. Let's introduce yourself. Hello? Oh, the cricket.
Oh, there it is. The cricket's back.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got a voice modifier for the recording of this podcast because I wasn't for sure if I was filling in for Alex or the cricket. So I wanted to be prepared.
Okay. That does make sense.
You know, it's not easy to speak cricket. You know, it's one of the harder languages there is.
As we always say, they contribute about the same amount.
They really do. I mean, the cricket's at least here this week. Alex isn't, so.
Oh, man. That's true. Alex is the least smart. Although this time it's not even Alex's fault. We just told him, "Hey, man, why don't you just not come this week?" And he was like, okay.
Why don't you take a week?
Let's not make the narrative of he didn't show up again. We just told him you're good. We just gave him the week off. My name is Jacob. With me always is my co-host, Delivan.
That would be me. Now, Jacob, I've got a question. Are you moving right now?
What do you mean moving?
Yeah, are you moving?
Like moving, like not sitting still, or moving my house to a different house?
No. I mean, like, are you just?
Yeah, no, I'm always fidgeting. That's the purpose of the podcast. That's the name of the game.
Wait, it just so looks like right now that you're not moving, and it's supposed to be called the Can't Sit Still podcast, and you are sitting still. I'm gonna need you to move some more. That's what I'm saying.
In the chair.
I think he pretty much just called you a failure.
Otherwise,
I think that's what I got from that. Yeah.
Well, I'm calling you a fraud.
Oh, fraud. That's even worse.
I'm saying we should shut this down, move on, and we're going to have to go through new management. This is now going to be the Always Sitting Still podcast. And
when sponsors come along, they're going to be like, "Oh, look at how those guys are sitting still. This is not what we expected."
Yeah. If you're sitting still, then this podcast just doesn't work.
Not at all.
Yeah, like that's the name of the game. I mean, it's about news, but really it's just a video of me fidgeting for an hour.
You know what? I'd watch that.
And this time with 100% more coughs because I've been coughing for 4 days. I'm coming off the flu. It's not corona. I did get tested. It came back negative.
Good to hear.
And yep, like he said, we avoid mainstream news. We're not going to talk about any major political figures that may or may not having deadly disease, and instead we're going to talk about farts and butts and how they relate to news.
Oh my gosh, guys! When I saw the episode name, the one that released Sunday, I was like, "Oh man, like that was my episode. Like I missed my wheelhouse. That's my wheelhouse, guys. See, the guys on the guys on Mind Grenade consider me the butt expert." So Matt says I'm the certified aspert. He said like it got a little.
That's what that was my nickname in high school.
The little badge that's like gold with 2 cheeks on it. It says like your rectum, I inspect them. So now I did not come up with that, or did I agree to that? That's just what he came up with for my badge. So
listen, some of the most poignant people in history don't choose greatness. Greatness is thrust upon them. And that is clearly we're watching that happen in action right now.
But I would prefer us not to use the word.
I was just about to bring that up. When talking about thrusting, maybe we should avoid that with butt topics. Unless you got that 12-inch dildo that guy had.
Fair enough.
I mean, then maybe you talk about it. But
I have drumsticks.
Oh, right.
Best.
Yeah.
I bet you do.
That is impressive. Like, I don't want you guys to be intimidated by the size of my mic either, because it's a big mamma jamma. I mean, it's huge.
Nah, I was automatically just intimidated by. I texted Jacob about that the moment that you sent that over to me, and I go, God damn, the size of his mic is it's impressive.
I'm compensating. What can I say? So.
But no one, we can see our mics. Delivan, I'm not even sure you're talking into anything right now. I think we've just been dubbing over you.
I speak softly and carry a big mic.
There it is.
Nice.
That $50 mic that we've had for 5 years.
And you know what? Paying dividends now.
Hell yeah.
It looks like looks like the spaceship from that Lego Movie 2 or whatever that they fly around. I don't expect you guys have seen that, but I have kids, so I've seen them all. The Lego movies are pretty cool.
I have seen it. I have seen them all.
Okay. I've seen the first one.
I saw Lego Ninjago in theaters.
That makes so much sense.
At the time, the movie was free because I worked there. Anyway, hey, Delivan, guess what, buddy? Lucky day. You want to be the first topic?
Well, let me tell you that it's awful funny that you were worried about not being able to talk about butt stuff. Because I've got butt stuff.
Hell yeah,
That's what we hear.
All right. So there's a 55-year-old hypnotist that was just arrested for illegally doing prostate exams on his patients.
Suckers?
Well, yeah, I would say suckers because he technically doesn't have a license to practice medicine. But the funny thing about it is, and 1 second, I gotta get this up here because I want to make sure that I get it exactly.
You do
right.
have to get this up here.
All right,
right? Yeah,
I do have to get it up, especially while talking about butt stuff. Okay, New Jersey hypnotist arrested after giving patients illegal prostate exams. Apparently, people could come into his office for to get hypnotized. And then they would leave with a prostate exam. Now, here's the funny thing. Not one of them may have actually been hypnotized. So he might have just been giving these people prostate exams.
Think that that's anything that he could use in the court of law? Is that he can go, listen, Your Honor, it's not real.
I'm going to say no.
Aware the whole time that I was putting my finger in their ass.
I'm going to say no, and here's why. This man did not discriminate against age.
Ooh.
Yeah, he was Uncle Bad Touch is what he was.
That's no good.
Yeah. So I guess it had a wide range all the way from little kids to grown adults. And I'm going to go ahead and say this guy's name because fuck this guy. Robert Bruckner is currently being charged with sexual assault, endangerment of the welfare of a child, and practicing medicine without a license. Out of those three, what's the worst possible thing to be arrested for?
Being a hypnotist.
Absolutely. Do you need a license to practice hypnotism?
You know what? That's because every once in a while you come across a weird thing where it's like, do you need a license for that? Because when I was bartending, I had to look into it because I was like, clearly I just got hired and went through 1 day of training and ordered a bartend. And so I don't need a license, but what is the purpose of a license? And it turns out that it is a thing. Like, bartending licensing is a thing. And in some areas it is needed, but in a lot, it's just something you can put on your resume. It's just more formal training, but not necessary. There was a news story that just came out because I guess it was under questioning that some people were trying to make tattoo artists in Japan need a medical license in order to tattoo. Instead, like along with a tattoo license. I don't think that's necessary, but also I don't think a hypnotist license is that. I mean, that's just like a license to sell bullshit.
Look, the lady that did the shitty tattoo on my back, she didn't need a medical license. She needed some art classes, but she did not need a medical
one less cup of coffee that day.
Maybe that's all she had was a medical license, and that's why the tattoo turned out the way it did.
Yeah.
She just was like, you know what? I'm tired of drawing blood.
I got to pay off this medical school somehow. I'm just gonna draw on this dude's back for a while. See how it turns out.
She days as a doctor, and then in the middle of the day she Ubers, and then at night she tattoos, and then it seems like a lot, but she's gonna have that debt paid off in only 60 years, as opposed to the 100 it would normally take to pay that off.
Sleep is overrated.
Well, Agreed. I mean, she's making bank. She'll never see a penny of it for a good while, but yeah, like she's making bank. But yeah, I don't really understand because they can't get anybody to come back and say, "Oh, well, I was hypnotized whenever this happened," because I don't think any of them remember that they were hypnotized. I think they just kind of like snapped out of it and saw his finger in their ass, and they were just like, "Oh."
You have to assume it was some sort of sexual pleasure for him. Is he doing other stuff, or is he literally just giving his best idea of a rectal exam?
No. He's a vigilante. He thinks that he's doing these people justice
for prostate cancer
because prostate cancer. He's protecting against.
Do you think he's that dumb and that he's doing it to females too? Just going like, "Ooh, I should probably tell her to go see a doctor because I'm not feeling her prostate."
It's just missing. Nobody knows where it went.
Yeah.
And call the police. I mean, send out a search party. The whole thing. It just doesn't seem like something you do as a hobby, for sure. And
hey, you know what? Everyone's got their own interests.
I mean,
hey,
well, people are into weird shit that we know. I mean, that we know from this podcast alone. The people are into something weird.
So that reminds me. My mom just texted me, and I could have swore I saw the words "glory hole," but I was driving, so I put my phone down.
I was like, "Are you just getting ready to tell us that your mom's into some weird shit?" Because I don't think.
What the hell? She just texted me. She said she was listening to the podcast, and she said I had the best glory hole day. I'm gonna have to follow up and see what the hell she meant by that.
I think it was exactly as it was supposed to be meant.
I'm gonna have to follow up on that.
But do you think that the guy that got his prostate exam down in Florida drove up to New Jersey and got his prostate exam there, and then just went to the cops and said, "This guy hypnotized me," and he stuck his finger up my ass?
Let me paint you a word picture if I can.
Oh, do it.
This guy's father just died, rectal cancer, alcoholic. Okay, goes to the doctor, get checked up, finger in his ass, ejaculates, shoots his doctor, on the run, drives up the coast, makes his way to Jersey, needs to relax, got some extra money, goes to a hypnotist to try and forget his problems, wakes up, sore ass, anger, gun again.
Makes sense.
Full circle.
Now,
Jacob, I'm going to give you a 3 out of 10 on that story, and here's why. Where was the love interest?
Well, that's when he said hasta la vista to her, and she hasn't heard from him again.
That's true.
Okay.
Do you think he's hypnotizing all of those people, or just their rectums, or do you think he's just hypnotizing their anuses?
Just gives them such a severe muscle relaxer that they don't even know what's happening.
Maybe it's the hypnotism that just opens it right up for him.
I mean, yeah, that's the whole point, right? You can make people, quack like a duck. You have some people that walk around on their hands and knees like a horse. I mean, you just tell them to open it right up, and they do.
Every single prom at Delivan and I's high school for probably the better part of a decade had a hypnotist at every
that stuck their finger up our ass.
Excuse?
I was going to say at every prom. I thought you were going to say that you had prostate exams.
I was like, yeah, the hypnotist.
Did this guy
every single prom there was one way or another butt stuff.
Now hold on. This guy that did the hypnotism at our school also had a medical degree, so it was fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
At that point, he's just giving you a free medical exam, and it's like, dude, you should be thanking him.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Absolutely,
man. So is what's this guy's charge like? Is he still facing? Is he still awaiting trial, or is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, he's still awaiting trial, and quite frankly, I mean, he's 55, and I can only assume that the endangerment of the welfare of a child, and adding in sexual, a lot of sexual assault, is probably going to cause him to have quite a few years in prison, probably to the point that he's going to die.
Oh yeah.
Especially since he had the endangerment to the welfare of a child. And added on to that.
This was Jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're wild enough. They'll just throw the book at him. They'll give him the chair.
Probably, yeah.
If they still do lethal injections in almost anywhere in America. Let's see.
It's either either give him the chair or get bent over a chair. I mean, those are your choices. So
I know people who would rather get the chair.
Now, here's the thing. Okay, so it's in Massachusetts that guy has the creative punishments. Do you think that would be one of those creative punishments to be like, okay, so you gave a bunch of children and a man, quite a few men, rectal exam, or not rectal exams. I keep saying that. It's right there. It's just right in the vicinity. Prostate exams that they're like, everybody in the prison gets to come up and give you a prostate exam.
Well, that's probably going to happen anyway.
By the way, a bunch of children and a man sounds like a horrible 90s sitcom.
It's like,
no.
Have you ever watched not Horsing Around? That's the name of the show. BoJack Horseman.
I have seen a little BoJack Horseman. Hector from Mind Grenade's a huge fan of that show.
It's so good. He's the character was on a 90s sitcom called Horsing Around, where it's just this 25-year-old horse that adopts 3 kids. Just 3 kids and a horse. Let's see. I'll let you choose. I have 2 things okay, so one is why aren't you dead? And the other one is why does my sandwich hurt my pancreas?
Let's go with
which one would you rather?
Let's go with the pancreas. I'm feeling awful
all right.
Pancreas today.
Craziness ensues when the high-speed world of legal definitions meets one of the largest fast food companies in the world. According to Subway, they are the largest fast food company in the world. Bold accusation, beating out McDonald's. If you Google that, it says McDonald's, so I think they're just throwing things at the wall. Supreme Court has found that the bread at Subway's heated sandwiches have too much sugar in it to meet the legal definition of being bread. So they can no longer market their hot sandwiches as sandwiches because they do not contain bread by the legal definition. They are just sugar loaves.
Oh, sugar loaves. I thought we were going to be like meat between cookies or something. Not sexual, Delivan. Meat, yeah.
Oh, I was thinking that that's going to be my new nickname for JJ.
Which is
Sugarloaf.
Oh man, come on! I've been trying to lose weight.
No. It's because you're so sweet
and loafy,
and you're big loaf.
You loaf around all the time. 5 judge court. Thank you. Ruled that bread in Subway's heated sandwiches falls outside the statutory definition because its sugar contains 10 pieces of the weight of the flour included in the dough, where it is allowed to have it shall not exceed 2. So it's at 10 and it's not allowed to exceed 2.
Jesus.
So that's how sugary this damn bread is in their heated sandwiches.
Can you can you measure a judge in courts? Like, I know you can measure liquid in courts, but can you have a 5-court judge? I mean, is that how they picked some of these new? We can't do politics. The Supreme Court justices.
We can do politics. We just don't.
Yeah, I don't know. We could dance around politics.
This person's like 8 courts. This one's only about 7.5. So we can go with the 8.
This guy's about. Well, that's how they needed to do the new term limits. Is because every single judge goes in about 10 courts, and when they start getting a little too low, that's when you got to kick him out. This guy's about 1.5 courts. He should have been gone a while ago.
See, every time that you keep saying this, I just imagine there's just a judge that constantly changes different districts. Like he just has different names. And that he just, like, everybody hasn't realized, like, he changes his appearance a little bit, but not a lot. So he just, like, he's in 10 different counties. He just keeps hopping.
I picture the episode of The Simpsons with the monorail and the guy who just comes into town to build them a monorail and then skips town to do it again. But it's a judge that comes in and makes wacky rulings and then moves on to the next town.
Yeah.
So because the Subway heated sandwiches, such as the hot meatball sandwich, did not contain bread as defined, it could not be said to be food. So now their meals are not defined as legal food for the purpose of the second schedule of the act. So they are in all sorts of legal trouble right now, and soon to be, I'm sure, because they got sued a few years ago because someone brought a tape measure and he ordered a $5 footlong and measured it, and it wasn't a foot long, and he sued him and won. And so now they're even in a deeper legal trouble because now their food doesn't legally fit the definition of food.
It doesn't measure up. I'm sure a lot of people out there can have experienced that. JJ,
dude, for some reason you go
maybe a little
bit
in
there and you get a $5 footlong and it's like $7.56 and you're like, what happened here? Where did I miss it's like when you go to get food off of a Grubhub and you're like, okay, yeah, like we found the problem. Everything's fine. There should be a little message in the YouTube video describing what just happened, but Delivan's an idiot and he messed up the video. But anyway, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, like you go into Subway and you ask for a $5 footlong and it ends up being like $7.50. It's almost like when you go on like Grubhub or something like the Dine, one of these delivery things. I was sick this week. I was trying to get food delivered to me because I didn't feel like leaving the house. And I was like, cool, I'll just get like a 10-piece nugget meal. And it was like $8. So I was like, cool, $8. I have a coupon that's 10% off. That should cover the delivery. Ended up being $15. And I was like, what are all these fees and shit for? It's like, your in bed fee, that's $2 because you ordered it in bed. And you have a white front door. Like if you had a red front door, it'd be a less fee, but because it's white, it's $4 fee. There was a fee for having the meal be under $10. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm close enough. Let me bump it up over 10 and it'll like do it. There were more fees. So when I got it over 10, it got rid of the under 10 fee, added in a new fee. I just got in the car. I just drove to McDonald's.
So you didn't just order more nuggets?
No, you know what? I should have went to Wendy's and ordered the 50 nuggets for $10.
That's a great deal.
Such a good deal.
I can knock out one of those so fast.
We'll time you one day.
We should do that because I think I can really like put them down.
Subway is just a fucking mess. They had the whole Jared thing. Maybe he was trying to hypnotize people.
So I want to see if I'm getting this straight. Their meat's not real meat. Their bread's not real bread.
No, the meat I believe is real meat.
The meat is real meat.
So the bread is not real bread, and so that they advertise it as a sandwich. It's not that because there's no bread involved. So that way their concoction does not meet the legal definition of food.
But it is food though. Still, I mean, because it's just that the bread's not bread.
Through the purpose of the second schedule of the act that they are being held into at law. That whole sentence was so backwards, but I'm gonna keep moving on. It does not fit this schedule's definition of food. I do not have this definition of food and why it doesn't meet it, but that's just it's, in this case, in this law court, it doesn't. I still have a fever and my words aren't working quite right today.
I mean, it still seems like food, right? I mean, you could literally stick some meat in a sugar cone, right?
Yeah,
and still call it.
Yeah, it's food.
Call it a sandwich.
This is the way. This is one of those things in politics where I really question: did they really have to go that deep into a definition of what food is and isn't?
Ever since the jungle came out in like 1922, the USDA and all of the food laws that surround any consumable in America has been so under a microscope. Well, here's something that's pretty gross. I don't know if you guys are ready for this. Do either of you guys love coffee?
Yes.
Nope.
Okay. So scientists who study cockroaches often become allergic to cockroaches when they spend an excessive amount of time with them. Something about the cockroaches, some spore, I don't know. They become allergic to them.
I'm assuming just by being around them, right? They're not like huffing them or eating them.
No, they're eating
relations with them.
Being in the presence of cockroaches for an extended period of time for years will make you become allergic to them. At the same time, these scientists become allergic to coffee because there is a legal standard where there is a legal amount of cockroaches that can be in coffee and ground up in coffee.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'm sure that's not the only food that has that.
Yeah, it's.
I'm not surprised.
They say that you should never drink sodas from a can because they're covered in mouse piss and shit, and basically scraped off before they're wrapped up and sent to a distributor.
That's why they have that tang.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why it tastes so good.
Oh, whoa. Hell yeah, dude. So yeah, Subway.
Oh, blast.
Subway's main sponsor, or not sponsor, but spokesman that they've had for 2 decades, pedophile. Their footlongs aren't footlongs, got sued. Their bread isn't bread, making their food not legal definition of food. And this is one of the biggest franchises in the country. Now, it's only the biggest franchise because the average franchise startup cost for McDonald's is like 1.6 million, and the average franchise startup cost for Subway is like $10 and some change. Like, it doesn't cost shit to start up a Subway. That's why they're everywhere.
You just have to want it. You just have to want it.
That's it.
It's $10 and one free sandwich of your choice.
How many are in this town? I'm looking.
Subway. So many.
Oh, so many. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 14 in this metropolitan area. No, 15, because there's one at the airport. Of course.
Did you just call this a metropolitan area?
Esque.
Come on.
Esque-ish.
Yes. Okay.
I always
there you
say
go.
that
That's better.
Springfield is a great suburb. It's just we haven't been built around the big city yet. The big city's still coming. It hasn't been invented yet. But once it's there, Subway or Springfield's going to be a lit ass town. We just need that Chicago to migrate south a little bit.
Mm-hmm. There's a sign out by Rochester somewhere. It says "Coming soon."
Yeah. We're just waiting for Decatur to like quadruple in size.
Hey, by the way, are you guys fans of Baja Blast, Mountain Dew Baja Blast?
Why are you?
I'm all right with it. Not a huge fan.
You're all right with it?
Yeah.
Me.
Right.
JJ? Yeah, big fan. Huge fan of it.
Okay, I could see it in your eyes. You didn't have to say anything. But for people that are just listening,
Taco Bell, there's a Taco Bell cup right here with day old Baja Blast in it.
Not sponsored, but wish we were.
Man. And now we know that the Baja Blast part of it, mouse piss.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the old junior high. What is it? Like the rumors that Red Bull has actual bull piss in it because it has like taurine or whatever, which is a chemical compound found in bull urine, but it's not. They don't squeeze bulls' dicks into a can and just have you crack it open in the middle of algebra. Fucking Kyle.
No, but they do squeeze bulls' dicks to get something else, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys ever see the Delivan? I know you did because you were there. The Power Rangers movie that came out in like 2017, 2018. And in the first 5 minutes, there's a bull jerk off joke of the Power Rangers movie. It was really weird and out of place. Has nothing to do with the news topic, but still.
You know what? Jerking off a bull could actually lead us into my next topic.
Well, that's perfect.
Let's go ahead and do it. All right. I called this Semen Smuggler. Well, JJ's got to not die first, but all right, here we go.
We'll make it through.
All right. A Canadian woman has been fined $25,000 after pleading guilty to importing bovine semen into Canada.
Hell yeah.
As you do.
The Canadian Food Inspection. Yeah, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. You know, immediately when I read this, I was concerned. I was like, wait a minute, why is a food inspection agency like concerned about semen? I was like, well, wait, okay, so it's not the semen that's the food, I hope. It's actually the beef that they're going to get from the semen eventually. Yeah, so we're just going to, if it's not that, we're just going to say it's that. So anyway, so said the bovine semen was imported over a period of a year from February 2017 to February 2018. They said it was the largest illegal cow spunk ever. It totaled 1,553 straws. Which does not mean it's a new. It does not mean it's a new kind of milkshake. It's just what they actually store these things in.
I swear to God, Americans will measure something in anything other than the metric system. 10,000 straws of bull semen. Why don't you just say like, what? Even go American with it. What's a straw to gallon ratio of bull cum?
A straw contains about 1/4 mil of semen, which is about 2 million sperm.
A lot of sperm.
That is a lot of sperm.
It's concentrated sperm.
I thought for sure you were going to say that she is smuggling this in her body.
Stop right there. I'm going to cut you off. Nope, I'm going to cut you off.
You know what's impressive, though, is that this stuff is actually shipped in liquid nitrogen. I watched a YouTube video. I should pull this YouTube video up, because it has some really awesome cow semen music to it. But they freeze this stuff. They put it in liquid nitrogen and then ship it in liquid nitrogen cans. So this lady had to get a bunch of liquid nitrogen cans over the border. I guess nobody's looking for semen to come in to Canada. They're like, oh God, look out to make sure none of that semen comes. Like nobody, you know, that wasn't a joke, but it was an accident. But, there's no I can't believe what is the Canadian police called? What are the
Mounties?
Mounties, yeah. Yes. There's no Mounties across the border. Be like, hey, do you have semen? Do you have semen? Do you have semen? Do you have semen? Sir, you need to stop. Do you have semen? I don't think that's happening.
Well, nowadays,
so
are there any Americans in your car trying to cross the border? Not letting Americans in.
First and foremost, if you went up to a guy and you said, do you have semen? I'm pretty sure his answer should be, hopefully, yes. Now, I do have a question. Do you think that if she was smuggling this in her body, that's how the first Minotaurs were made?
Yes.
Clearly, right? Like, that's how it had to have been done.
Based off of all the animes that I'm watching, I'm pretty sure that's how those are created.
Oh, buddy. Those are not animes.
Yeah, and then those minotaurs went back in time to the old ages
Roman
where they were written about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we forgot about the time travel part, but yeah, for sure. I mean, it's got to be.
No. I just assumed that people back then were also smuggling bull semen.
Oh, right.
And so that's what happened. And then they just stopped doing it for a while, and now it's making its comeback. No pun intended.
The time travel news this week?
There's always time travel news, honestly.
Did we spot another person in a photo that was from the future?
Scientist. I'm trying to find where his location, because for some reason, Queensland University, so Australia, says that using Hawkins' theory of relativity, he has came up with the idea of theoretically possible paradox-free time travel. I watched the news story. In no way do they explain how.
Of course not.
They just say theory of relativity. As you
it's a trade secret.
You see right here, it's the theory of relativity. So honestly, that's it, mate. And then he just goes, "Oi," and then he runs off.
Okay. Let me see if you guys can hear this. This I just gotta let you guys listen to the first part of this YouTube video explaining how cow semen is extracted, tested, and then stored and shipped.
I'm interested.
All right, let's hear this.
Maybe.
Collecting semen of progeny tested bulls in a semen bank.
Now see, that is what bull semen music sounds like. It's pretty kick-ass, right?
Are we gonna get demonetized for this?
It's too upbeat for a video about bull semen. There's no reason that you should have a nice, sick, like Western country guitar riff.
Actually, that's the exact. It's a bull. You should definitely have that. What else are you gonna have? Sad, somber music about bull semen?
Yeah, I feel like you just go slide 2, click. No music is needed in the bull semen.
No. You're grabbing people's attention. You have to have the music.
That woman's voice sounds like it's a computer. So the whole video is they're showing you this. It's like a woman's computerized voice, and then it's the music the whole time. It's like this upbeat, like you're like, all right, we're getting the they're getting the artificial vagina ready. Yeah. It's like this upbeat, like everybody should be dancing during it. But I wondered, it's like, could they not get anybody to like actually tell you about what's going on? Just like nobody was like could drop their shame enough to talk about extracting bull semen and shipping it. Because didn't that sound like a computerized voice?
Oh no, it definitely was. And if that's not the same thing that was playing at your prom, you went to the wrong prom.
It's like the oh man, for some reason that reminds me of like the Pacer test is a multi-level physical fitness test.
That's so true. So true. I hated that. By the way, hated the Pacer test. It was pointless. Made no sense. I mean, I know why, but it made no sense.
Delivan, how about you toss your next topic at me?
Hey, you guys ready to talk about more semen?
Yep, that's what I came for. Apparently,
semen butts. What do you got, man?
All right, and I'm just going to emphasize, and you have a doctorate, correct?
I do.
Okay, cool. This is why I hate doctors. Okay. A Dutch gynecologist was discovered to have fathered 17 children using his own semen during artificial insemination without telling the parents.
Dude, that is so fucked up.
Yeah, it really is.
That is such a breach of every trust. Just a breach of that whole institution. Fucking Dutch, dude.
You want to hear something funny?
I guess.
This isn't the first time that a Dutch gynecologist has done this. And the other time, way worse.
56 kids.
49.
That was close.
You were shockingly close.
When he inseminates these people, is it called sticking it into the Dutch oven?
You know what? I don't think that. I mean, that's a good joke, and I want to take a second in order to let that just marinate in because it was such a good quality joke. But no, I'm pretty sure that when he was inseminating these people, he didn't say anything other than, "Man, are you going to be surprised in 9 months?"
It's crazy how every single one of these kids, because I assume that he has like a photo like place on his wall that has all the kids that he's helped birth. And you're like, every single one of these. I mean, they are Dutch, so much of them look the same anyway. But still, I mean, they really after like 45, they pretty much killed off all the genetic differences in that general area. But still, you'd be like, every single one of those kids looks exactly the same as the last one.
Now, you want to hear something even funnier?
No.
Is that there was another gynecologist here in America that was found to have done the same thing in Colorado. And of that, he did nearly a dozen. And by nearly a dozen, I'm not sure why they didn't say fucking 11 or like 10 or like, specify the number. That's what I'm asking.
Nearly.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead, JJ.
How did they find out?
DNA test. They tested all of them.
Why did they have the first inclination to test a kid?
So, at least from one of the stories that I read, and I don't know if I trust this or not, but this is the story that I read, is that the guy, right on his deathbed, confessed to all of it.
The Dutch guy?
And so, another interesting tidbit to this story is that all of the kids were contacted. They all had a DNA test to make sure that it was true. And they all have a great relationship with the doctor's family.
I mean, honestly, you just now figured out your support group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like you had a lot of changes of Tinder profiles that week of like, oh, brother to 2 sisters to brother of 17 siblings. Who are they? What are their names? I'm still learning myself. I'm bad with names, but your brother's sister's name. It was a new revelation.
Have you guys heard of those stories like on Ancestry.com when you do your DNA analysis? And part of the thing they do is they tell you kind of like where your heritage are from, whether it's be like, the Northern Europe or Western Europe or whatever. But another thing is that you match up with people that are on there. And there's been cases where people, like as couples, at least one case that I know of, where they went on there and did that as like a present for each other and then found out they were cousins.
You want to hear a funny story about a personal story?
Are you going to tell your cousin story?
No.
Oh. Never mind. Scratch that from the podcast.
No.
Delvin has a funny cousin story. We'll talk about that.
I do. It's actually not that funny, but my aunt decided to do the ancestry, the test, more or less, and she found out that who we thought was my grandpa, like my great grandpa for the longest time, actually was not. Apparently, my great grandmother was sleeping with the doctor, who was I can't remember what he was doing for her, but he caught her.
I can tell you what he did for her.
Yeah. Good point. But apparently
it wasn't a prostate exam, was it? That's happened.
Yeah, it was a really bad hypnotist that didn't understand that a woman doesn't have a prostate. Now, apparently, and this is just an alleged story from my great aunt. Yeah, my great aunt, where she walked in on somebody sneaking out the window while my great grandpa was gone. And so now everything kind of adds up, and we found out that apparently, and you know what? I prefer that, because at least my actual great grandfather was a doctor and not the drunk that the other one actually was. So it works out.
Yeah,
the genes are there.
It's a happy ending, so to speak. I picture him like crawling out the window naked, and she's like, "You gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go," and then she's like throwing his clothes out the window behind him.
Well,
you're a shotgun cock in the background.
Well, and then he stops because he decides that it's better to make the joke to turn around and go, "But babe, I already came," and then leave.
And then that's when you hear the blast of the first shell. I was on Reddit one time on Christmas, because that's what I do at Christmas with my family. And it was about like the end of the night, and I'm just rolling. And there's a subreddit, Today I Fucked Up. And someone just put like, today I fucked up by getting everybody in my family like ancestry tests. And I hate when people do that, because you're all the same. If you're all believe that you are all from the same mother and father, one ancestry DNA test will get you out where you need to go. You don't need to buy 7. You all have the same DNA. Well, she didn't realize that and bought all of her siblings ancestry DNA tests. And the mom freaked out and was like, "No, we're not taking that. We don't need to take that." Like Heather, why don't you just? No, I guess Heather's my sister's name. Let me pick a different name. Michelle, why don't you just take the test? No one else has to take the test. You should just return these. And they were like, "No, we'll just all take them." And the mom was like super stressed and like freaking out about it. And one of the kids was like, "Well, obviously we know what's going on here. Like one of these kids' DNA test is going to come back different, and there's going to be questions." And like it caused this whole thing and like storming out of the room and a fight. And then it turns out like hours later, the mom came back and said something about like the first kid is not the dad's kid, but they knew about it. So she got pregnant and then got with this guy. And then she was like, "Oh my God, I'm pregnant." And he was like, "Oh shit. Okay, well, I'm in." And she's like, "Well, it's not yours." He's like, "I'm still in." And then they just decided to tell the kids that that was their dad. And then they went on and had like 3 of their own kids. And none of the kids didn't know that they were, well, like it's only one kid and they were only a half sibling, which is close enough. But still, like the mom freaked out and ruined Christmas because you just tried getting all your siblings to get a DNA test.
I'm really happy that you went with the with another guy thing. I almost thought you were going to go with like with one of the other kids or something like that.
Oh, with a bull.
Yeah, like there's not enough DNA like separation here. Like there's not enough unique DNA. Someone had incest.
Yeah, no.
That's what they say about Conan O'Brien. Conan O'Brien did a interview where he did one of the DNA tests, and they said that he is 99% Irish. And he was like, "Yeah, well, we assumed that." And the doctor was like, "No, nobody is 99% Irish. Irish people aren't 99% Irish. The only way you get 99% Irish is if there's incest in your lineage." And it's not that far back. Like he's looking at maybe 100, 150 years ago, someone knocked up their sister. And he's like, and looking at my physiology, you could definitely tell that the DNA is a little murky, because he's like, my hips go up to like my rib cage. He's like, my pants go up so high, and he like stood up and he put his pants up all the way, and his legs are freakishly long, and his torso is so like, it's like picture if a frog wore pants, where like it's like the legs were so, and he was like, and it makes so much sense because this is how I was as a kid, and all the doctors were like, he'll grow out of it. And then when I went into puberty, they were like, his legs grew, he'll grow into it. And he's like, I'm 50. I am still weird. And for a doctor to go, there is recent incest in your lineage, and that's why you look this way. He goes, at least I have the answer.
You've got what we call in the medical business, incest hips.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
I gotta ask, because I do not remember the frog off of Looney Tunes. What was his name?
Like the one that sings like "Hello, my darling, hello, my baby."
Yeah.
I don't know. What's the Warner Brothers frog name?
I do not know. And the reason I'm asking is because if Conan O'Brien were a frog, would he be that frog?
Oh, he's got the top hat and sings. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Michigan J Frog.
Yeah, that's it. But the frog doesn't sing in front of anybody. Anytime you put the frog under,
he sings in front of that one guy and drives out of his mind. Dude, that bit used to play in front of, I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering it right, the Little Giants VHS tape that my grandma had. And that frog gave me nightmares as a kid, because the idea of the psychological torture that this poor frog was putting this man through. He was in a home for the rest of his life because the frog kept singing. Anyway, I don't want to get to a Harry Potter-esque rant about how freaky this frog is. But
No. Wait. A dancing frog gave you nightmares?
It's not the idea of the dancing frog. It's the idea that the frog intentionally sent this man into a psychotic breakdown, and just he couldn't get. Is my camera
your camera's frozen and you're ranting, and I think that might be why.
But it's a good face for what you're talking about.
It's just it's a crazy face. Oh, well, it's gone, and now it's back.
Yeah, is he still there? Oh man, Warner Brothers just took him out.
Yeah, they heard him talking about it. It's like, nope, copyright strike that shit. Knock it off. You better stop. Don't talk about nothing.
He knows too much about us terrorizing children. Take him out. Take him out now. Get him off the internet now. Now. God damn it.
JJ, you there, buddy? Is he just not coming back? Is this our life now? Where it just anytime we try to record anything ever, it just automatically just goes, no, you need to stop. You need to stop now.
We hit our quota of something. I don't know if it was frogs.
It's my internet. That's what it is.
Or frog semen. Yeah, I don't know.
We've had an awful lot of semen this episode. Quite a bit. Nothing more than these ladies got from these doctors. But I mean, and I sat there and thought about it. I was like, so how much semen? How many of these ladies knew about the doctors doing this? And how many of the kids are like, it's okay? And how many of them are like, this is fucked up. I just can't do anything with this. There's a lot to unpack in that situation of what? Just what?
You know, speaking of semen and packing, while we're waiting for JJ to come back, I have a topic.
Can you guys hear me?
We would prefer not to, but yes, we can.
Can you guys see me?
No, and that's actually better too.
Well, you know what? We're just going to keep it like that because this is going to break my Discord. If I try, it might pop back on in a little bit. We'll see what happens.
I highly doubt it. Yeah, let's go.
I came prepared for all the transitions, apparently. So now, like the semen and the packing, actually, I have a used condom factory. Have you guys done that yet in Vietnam?
No, but I have heard about this twice.
I think I saw a related article, but I didn't look into it. So enlighten me.
Enlighten you? Okay. So a couple weeks ago, I think now, will be like 3 weeks ago once this post, a police raid in Vietnam finds more than 300,000 used condoms that were being washed and reshaped, then packaged for resale. It's unclear how many of these condoms were already resold. The factory owner said that she purchased the used condoms from some man. I don't know where he got them. But you know what?
He was just slaying it, dude. He did it himself, man.
Yeah. Or I picture him like going house to house, ringing the doorbell and just like, hey, are you done with that? Hey, are you done with that?
Mind if I go through your garbage?
Yeah.
How often do you have sex with your wife?
I'm guessing he's probably going to come through the bedroom window because people probably don't answer their door and fully condomed. At least most people don't. JJ. Anyway.
Oh, man.
So
you better believe he's always trapped.
Listen, have I left the blinds open before on accident? Obviously.
So a health official said that the condoms were an extreme health risk to users. You think so? Where is this man getting these used condoms? I don't know. We talked about that. Is he like, I don't know. I've heard of a lot of schemes to make money. Like, who thought this was a brilliant idea?
Side hustle.
Right here.
You gotta
I think this is
to Canada.
Genius idea.
Everyone's got their gig, you know?
It doesn't seem time and cost effective to go through all this work to wash them out. And then like they had like these little molds. I saw the picture, like wiener molds that they put the condoms on, and then they just rolled them back up, and then they packaged them. You know, it's a lot of time spent. Like, how much are they getting for these things? And I'm sure they're not selling them on like, you know how like on Amazon or eBay you get to disclose if something's used or new. I'm sure when you go on eBay and you find these condoms, they're not gonna be like, well, slightly used.
I'm seeing how many condoms I can buy off Amazon right now. What's the largest condom box I can
1,000.
Oklahoma Crown 100 pack condoms. Damn. Oh, here's a Now condom, 144 count.
Mm-hmm.
Seen a lot of 3650.
Do you think that the point of this isn't actually to make a bunch of money, but instead to save the environment?
Maybe. I mean, you can't flush them down the toilet. So maybe recycling.
Yeah,
recycling. They thought it was an answer.
Yeah, that's
not the answer.
That's probably it. I mean, I think that this guy is just going to go in and say, "Look, I'm trying to do the world a service by making sure that we aren't using too many new condoms."
Do you think they're like checking them for holes, like filling them up like water balloons and tossing them back and forth for a while to make sure no water comes out? Or
listen, putting myself in these guys' shoes, not worried about it. It's not my problem.
Now, do you think that the flavored condoms they reapply flavor to?
Possibly.
They just have like a 5-gallon bucket of like extract. Like this is banana extract, this is vanilla extract, this is cherry extract, and they just go do a real quick dip and then they wring it off, and then they, I guess, curl it back up, and whatever their preferred method is.
It's got to be the fake banana flavor, though. It can't be real.
No.
So it's got to be like they melt down runts. They melt down runts, and then they dip them in the melted runts, and then they, fold.
Technically, from what I understand about banana flavoring, candy is the real banana flavor.
I don't believe it.
Because if you look into this, and I'm pretty sure this is a fact,
Nope.
the actual bananas, historical bananas, are extinct. And what we have now is an off variety, like mutation of the original banana.
Oh,
but the original banana that we have left is the extract flavoring that is found in candies. That's why banana flavored candies do not taste like a banana, because that's what original bananas were like.
Sure. Like every agricultural product we have now is a mutation.
It's all GMO. Yeah, but the idea that original bananas are just extinct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Plantains?
Google, when did the
What about plantains? Are they untouched, or they all?
You'd have to ask me what a plantain is. I'd have to Google plantain.
Oh my gosh! All your bananas out there, guys, they're all tainted.
Yeah, they're not real. They're just
tainted bananas everywhere.
I just Googled when did the OG banana go extinct. There was a fungal plague in the 50s.
Question: the classic like sitcom skit is that you take a banana and you roll a condom on the banana to learn how to unroll a condom. Would you eat the banana after you unroll the condom on the banana?
Obviously, it's got skin on it, dude.
Yeah, right? I mean, you should be perfectly fine. That's not going to be a real issue.
No.
Yes, I would eat the banana.
Now, would you eat the banana skin?
No.
Peel.
What?
It's a peel. That's what I meant to say.
Wow. No, I know, but who eats this peel?
Well, you don't eat the peel.
You're an actual maniac.
I might gnaw on it a while, but I don't think I'd swallow.
Chew on it like some cud.
Would you just chew on a banana flavored condom?
I believe I might have one here in the house. I can let you know.
I mean, how much money do you guys get?
If I paid you $100 bill, 100 spot right now, a Benjamin staring you in the face.
Yep.
You chew in that condom?
Video?
You got to at least chew the condom for 10 minutes.
The internet.
10 minutes.
The internet is forever.
Dude, I wouldn't even chew gum for 10 minutes. I mean, I'd put it in there and I'd do some chews for a couple minutes. I'd tell my next topic while chewing on a banana flavored condom.
I don't think that's not going to work, JJ. See,
listen, all right, twist my arm. Twist my arm, 10 minutes on the clock of chewing on this banana flavored condom. $100
your
bill.
video's not working, so you can talk a lot of stuff right now, but when it comes back on, then that's when the real
he's going like this, just hoping that we don't actually try to get
I'm dabbing off sweat right now. I'm actually like shredding my banana flavored condoms right now.
Jacob, what is your bottom dollar?
Bottom dollar is probably the hundo.
The hundo?
You're not getting me to chew on. I don't know, because like for something like that, it's like I feel like people really oversell themselves. It's like, really, what's it taken out of your life just to chew on a condom for 10 minutes? But also, I'm not gonna do it just like for free, because it's like I listen. I work for a wage. This is a capitalist society. You want to see me chew on a condom? It's gonna be 3 figures.
Okay, that's fair.
Not to say that I think I'm above it, but that's what I think that production is.
You're
worth.
A working man that works in a capitalist system where you normally for an entire hour, I'm sure you're not getting paid triple digits to work per hour, and you're about to do this for 10 minutes, and yet you're saying it has to be at least triple digits to do this. So are you either getting vastly underpaid for the hours you work at your capitalist job, or are you just being kind of a baby back bitch whenever it comes to chewing this condom?
Can you say that same thing about like I don't know, like a pro athlete where it's like, dude, you really like?
Yeah, but that pro athlete only does that thing. You work a job.
So if I quit my job and only chew condoms, then I can set my own rates.
Yeah, sure.
And now
I have to call my boss.
Now, Delivan, he's given us a loophole here, and you missed it. He said it needs to be 3 digits, right? He didn't say what currency.
That is so true.
No. I'm about to get some Zimbabwe dollars over here.
Absolutely are. It's going to be
highest inflated currency in the world.
You're about to get 1/1000th of a penny to do this, dude.
Fuck yeah. If I may, I'm going to slap probably what's going to be my last topic in here.
Yeah, we're getting to that point.
You could you could just talk about it instead of slap it, but go ahead. I'll listen.
I got Hog Wild and Why Aren't You Dead?
I think I know what Hog Wild is. But I'm more interested in why aren't you dead? As a general statement to you.
Judy Cashner. Oh, man. Judy Cashner received a letter from her bank saying, "We're sorry for your loss and that the credit card purchases will be applied to the transactions after the death." The person that they are saying died was Judy. She called the bank and reported the mistake, and they were like, "No, I'm pretty sure you're dead." And they went ahead and went and told 3 credit reporting agencies in the United States that she was dead. Go ahead and close that line of credit. So she was getting screwed and having to jump through hoops to prove her. This was Wells Fargo, by the way, one of the most corrupt banks in the world. And they somehow...
You could put that out there. That's fine. Yeah, go ahead.
They refused to say how the mistake happened. They refused to decline, citing, "Oh, we're doing it for Judy's privacy." And Judy's going, No. Can you please tell me how it happened? And they were like, "No." So this bank is just telling her that she has to jump through some hoops and figure out to prove to them that she's alive, because apparently just calling and saying, "What's up, Judy here," wasn't enough, and showing up and telling them Judy wasn't enough. But they did also... What's up,
JJ? I mean, there's recorded audio. Also, have you seen the movie Weekend at Bernie's? That's all.
You know what? You're 100% right.
Now, JJ, right. Also, I do believe this is one of those situations where Wells Fargo goes, "Judy really wouldn't want us to disclose that information," and Judy just goes, "I'm fucking Judy. Give me the information."
Dude, you're fucking Judy. Congratulations, dude. She's hot, man. You're fucking her.
Yeah. Judy, if you're out there, give me a call.
I'm sorry, Judy.
My number's 111-111-152.
Oh.
She didn't want anybody to know, but
I'm fucking her. I've never even talked to the lady, so
I'm glad my camera was off, so I just accidentally spiked my phone on the ground.
I thought you were gonna say something else, but all right. You were making gestures or something. That's good. Keep up the good work, JJ.
So basically they're saying, well, in order to close an account and say someone's dead, you have to show up with a social security number and a death certificate from a hospital. And they did not have any of that on file. Now they looked at this chick's credit report in her statements, but there were some mysterious non-estate charges nominally remaining on the cashier's credit card balance. Or not the cashier, sorry, Cashner's credit card balance. I guess a lot of money. So someone had got into her account, said that she was dead, and started charging her credit card to other stuff. And although some non-estate charges still appear on her credit card bill, the bank tells her that she does not owe them any money and that they're going to ultimately get it figured out. And that she had to show up to one of the banks with her driver's license and sign what they called a declaration of life. She had to sign a piece of paper with her driver's license on it saying, "I am alive."
And she just goes, she's there trying to sign the paper, and she just goes, "Some days I feel like I'm not. Should I sign this? I don't know."
Now that everybody's seen my bank statements, I wish I was dead.
I really thought when you were saying that they had to come in with proof of a certificate of death, I thought instead of certificate of death, you were going to say the dead body. They have to come in with the dead body in order to be able to prove that the person is dead.
They got to wheel it into the bank. That's like every Tuesday, like the Brinks truck comes, drops off a bunch of change and cards and cash, and then there's always like a couple dead bodies on every single Brinks car.
It's like, this one's Greg, that one's George, this is Amanda. They all died last week. They're really starting to rot back here. They smell terrible.
Now imagine those cards that the Brinks truck's carrying as Hallmark cards, because they got to find a place to put all those, because nobody.
Yeah, they got to go somewhere on the off seasons.
Yeah, nobody's buying those things anymore. And if you are, I'm sorry, it was JJ's fault.
It is. Always JJ's fault, so we're good.
It's almost on a lot of major airlines, this has been like a 50% can't sit still and like 50% nuggets of nothing. I feel like I just keep throwing in like, did you know this thing? Did you know about this? Did you know about bananas?
That's okay. I didn't have any topics, JJ. Go ahead.
Didn't you have like 8 topics or something?
I do have a bunch. We won't make this a 3-hour recording though. We'll get to it.
I can't even remember what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, on like a lot of airlines, they won't let the passengers know, but like a lot of the storage, not all the time, but often they also ship dead bodies. How are you going to do that? Well, you just put them on an airplane. Delta will take them.
Right now, they will.
Some of the airlines are desperate. If that's dead bodies are paying for tickets, they'll prop them right up in the seats.
Well, from what I understand, the only problem with shipping dead bodies is when they get on the plane alive.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. We're going to go on to the next topic.
I did want to bring up a thing here, JJ, with last week, whenever you did the fact that the airlines sold out in a matter of like, I don't even remember what it was, 10 minutes. And it was a 7-hour flight. I really got to thinking about it. If you were to fly from Springfield to Florida, it takes 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
They did 2 trips from Springfield to Florida.
And then one extra one in the air just for good measure.
And just to land right exactly where it is that they started.
Yeah. I can't remember. Is the Coriolis effect a thing? I'll give that a Google. Who wants the next topic? Go ahead. You got 8 topics, my man. Why don't you just fucking go for it?
It's his turn.
All right. Thanks for giving my turn, guys, man.
Well, I wasn't sure what I missed out on when my whole fucking computer just decided to shit out, and my camera still is just a bunch of squiggly squares. So,
dude,
I don't know.
You are a mess today, man.
It's all just going wrong.
Just today.
Well, the same thing happened when we did our first podcast together. My Discord just refused to work for like 5 minutes. I should probably go back and listen to that big chunk of time where I just wasn't in the podcast.
Okay. I'll tell you what, I'll give you guys some topics and you guys can pick a couple you want me to talk about. I'll just give you the actual titles. So we got Buffalo Wild doorbell rings, haunted toilet, donated kitty. Can't stop twitching myself. Have you guys talked about this guy that sued Twitch? This is kind of a little bit old news, but it's hilarious.
It's between the Twitch guy and the toilet.
Gotta be. I was thinking toilet. So why don't we go?
Let's go haunted toilet,
and then we'll talk about Twitch guy.
Okay. Haunted toilet. So in Japan, that's why I picked this. In Japan, there's an urban legend of a young schoolgirl who haunts toilets. Mostly school toilets, apparently. I don't know much about it. Hanako-san, I think is what her name is. So this amusement park, I believe it's called Lagunazia, I think is how you pronounce it, is having a Corona Horror Fest 2020. And they want to have these like social distancing like type attractions going on. So they've decided to have a haunted bathroom attraction. So only one person at a time. And I've seen the video of this. You can go to YouTube and see. One person is taken to a stall. They sit them on the toilet. And they close the stall door. And then you get haunted. That's the attraction. So, they sanitize after every single person goes in there. So it's completely Corona safe. So they say. It looked to me like it was a fully functional bathroom. Like they actually turned a restroom into an attraction.
Do you drop trow or are you supposed to keep your trows up?
That's what I'm wondering. It's like, what if you are lying for this and you actually have to go to the bathroom?
It's Japan. What if you don't know it's a ride? And so you're like, actually, like you're a tourist in Japan, you don't speak Japanese, and you're like, I just got to run to the bathroom. You wait in line, you're like, finally, you get down, you sit down, you're like, I just got to do my business. And then like ghosts pop up. Let me tell you, that's probably the fastest you're ever going to go poo.
Dude, no. Well, I bet if I was in there and then the Hanako, the spirit comes and then starts peeking over, because I noticed in the video she like starts peeking over the stall. She peeks over the stall, and then it's going to be it's kind of a toss up. Who's going to be the most frightened? The ghost spirit or me? So she may see what I'm got going on there, and then just scream and just take off. And you were like, oh man, how can you? This attraction was built with one actress. How did you break it? How do you break an attraction that doesn't actually have animatronics?
So we talked on the podcast, I think a couple episodes ago, about how I have a because of the situation that happened to me as a child. I have this thing with public restrooms. That is the scariest thing that you could possibly put in my.
Delivan's
you could put
nightmare.
Me in a room full of. Freddy, Jason, you got Michael Myers, you got Hellraiser, you've got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy, Ed Gein, but not really Ed Gein. Every single one of those, nothing. You put me in a toilet where there's a possible haunting, ain't about it. Ain't gonna do it.
You should look it up. She makes all these creepy noises. It's really weird. When I looked up this YouTube video, by the way, it had one. Have you guys ever seen a disclaimer on a YouTube video that was at least partially funded by the Russian government? Have you guys ever seen
what? No, that's what the American government should
this
say.
video had that. And I was like, what? I was like, I had so many questions with in my head. I was like, I'm not even gonna try to think this through. Why this is it was because I think the video was posted by something from the Russian media. So, and it's all like you can't understand the people are speaking Japanese, so you can't understand it. They don't translate it to Russian or anything. But yeah, I was like, oh no, this is like somehow the haunted toilet is Russian propaganda. When is it ever going to stop?
Somehow, 100 years after the Russo-Japanese War, they're back at it again. They're comrades again, and now they're putting out haunted Oktoberfest propaganda about toilets. It's almost like the Harry Potter toilet.
I feel like they did this specifically to pinpoint me, because this is just my literal fucking nightmare. I'm gonna have nightmares about this whenever I go to sleep tonight.
We're the opposite. You go in that bathroom and it's your nightmare. I go in that bathroom and the ghost is the one that gets scared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those things where you're just sitting there with your legs wide open, newspaper, and
with legs wide open,
and demonetized. But yeah, it's just one of those situations where you're reading the newspaper and then you just ask the spirit for the business section.
And they just pass over. And you're like, this is arts and leisure. I asked for the business section.
How am I supposed to possibly finish if I don't have the business section?
I wipe with arts and leisure.
My business is only done with the business.
Delivan, tell me, do we got time for one more topic?
Time
or should we wrap
for
it up?
one more topic. Just one.
One. Do you have one, or do we want to hear about the guy who sued Twitch?
It's a sex addict that sued Twitch, by the way.
Well,
that adds a lot of weight to it.
I'm going to tell you that we actually have a listener story, so I'm going to go with the listener story because we've been trying to promote this so bad, and I'm not gonna do a username because it was a buddy of mine that actually submitted a story to us. So thank you very much, Ian. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the story up. I'm going to talk about his, and it should be pretty good. An Oregon man shoots himself in the groin while trying to showcase a gun at the supermarket. So Nicholas J. Ellingford was showing his 9mm Glock with a loud gunshot heard throughout the entire store. As he was putting his pistol away, he pulled the trigger of the gun. The bullet went through his crotch and into his leg and missed his femoral artery by an inch.
Wait, can you say his name again?
Yeah, Nicholas J. Ellingford.
I think I know the story.
Yeah, all right. Let's shit all over our listener stories, Jacob.
No, keep going. I know, keep going. I'm so excited. Wasn't supposed to be shitty.
Yeah, it seems that way. The authorities say that he did not have a concealed carry license, so he's looking at criminal charges for reckless behavior. So there's a lot to unpack there. And the first thing that we have to try to unpack is, for one, who was he showing this? Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. Who was he showing this gun to? He said it was showcasing it. Was he just standing at the end of the aisle, like flipping it on his finger and like flipping it midair and like trying to catch it and then like, passing it between his hands, and then he goes to put it down and it just blows a hole in his dick?
Wait, did you say this was at a grocery store?
Yeah. Supermarket.
Okay, they were out of Hot Pockets.
Obviously.
Isn't that how you react?
No, by showcasing my gun, usually it's just my dick, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's called presenting. He goes, "Is there no Hot Pockets?" And then he just whips out his junk and he presses it up against. He swings open one of the big fridges and he pushes his dick up against it and he goes, "It's cold. It's cold." And then people start to laugh. Obviously, it's cold.
He's just like zip, and he's just like Hot Pocket.
And then when the crew finally comes around, he goes, "And let that be a lesson to you." And he zips and he leaves. And they go, "What was that supposed to teach us?"
So yeah, I can't imagine what it is that you were trying to accomplish by sitting there showcasing your gun. I mean, I to look cool, I get that. What I don't get is, why did you have the safety off? All of that could have been avoided had the safety been off.
Well, there are some pistols that just don't have safety.
That's true, but this is a 9mm Glock. It has a safety.
That's true.
I mean, this is like your standard issued pistol. And of all the places for this story to happen, Oregon would not have been my first choice.
Yeah.
Not at all. And now, what kind of criminal charges do you think that this gentleman's going to get?
Probably just firing off a weapon in public.
Probably.
Probably just going to get downgraded to a misdemeanor and not have to worry about it.
Do you think attempted murder?
No, I feel like the judge is going to be like, I feel like you've already repaid your debt to society.
Exactly.
Like you've already been punished enough.
I do feel like they'll be a little bit light on this guy because he basically punished himself.
Ma'am.
Do you think that when he shot himself, he tried to act cool about it as he was falling to the floor?
What is he?
Absolutely.
What did he? He's like, oh no, okay, I do this all the time.
No, like he, like he shoots himself and he like falls backwards and he's like catching himself and he's just like, you fucking see that? That's, oh, yeah, that's so good. Don't call an ambulance.
Have you seen the video of the guy who's teaching a gun safety like course and he accidentally fires his gun in the middle of a speech and he's like, so you want to grip the handles, so you want to grip the handles right there, that way it doesn't go off like that, and everyone in the room is clearly like, you just fired that on accident, didn't you? And he was like, yes. Anyway, so you want to grab it firmly, so it just keeps trying to go, just keeps pushing through. So that guy fired one round into his jock and then he just went, do you guys have paper bags or plastic bags? I'm more of a reusable guy, but I see you don't have any in this aisle. Do you have paper?
What about reusable condoms? Do you have reusable condoms?
Where do you guys keep your gauze?
JJ, I actually have a story that you might be interested in, and it's about somebody that we work with, and our office. That the stairs that, because we have an upstairs, we have a downstairs. You know the stairs that get you from the upstairs to the downstairs, and
I'm aware of that's how stairs
that
work.
is exactly how stairs work. If it were an escalator, I would have said escalator. Movable stairs.
I did say in the beginning that this podcast was going to be both informative and entertaining, JJ. So that's the informative part. Right,
definitely not the entertaining.
Y'all learn.
I'd say that anytime that I speak, there's nothing entertaining about it. But so on the way down the stairs, there is an old style double barrel shotgun. And
yeah, I'm aware.
And
yes.
One of the employees at this company comes walking into the office I work in, and he has the gun. And he goes, do you think I could shoot this right now? I said, right now? No. And he said, why not?
What the fuck?
And I said, because you don't have any ammo. And he says, well, I do have ammo. I said, oh, you have ammo. Where's your ammo? And he says, I have some ammo out in my car. I says, it's the same ammo that would go in that gun. He said, oh, probably not. And I said, well, then no, you still can't shoot that gun. And he said, well, okay. How do you open this thing? And I go, okay, so you didn't even know how to open it, and you were expecting.
It's blocked.
It is not. I opened it.
It's not?
I opened it. It is open and ready for use.
What year would you put that shotgun at? It's like old. It's old.
Yeah, it's old, man.
That's like a turn of the century farmer shotgun.
Yeah.
Stop dating my daughter and get off my lawn.
It's I just caught the doctor sleeping with my wife, so I'm gonna shoot him out my window.
That shotgun's been on the business end of a couple of weddings. I can tell you that for sure.
Easy. So he just comes in and I just go, yeah, no, you can't. You're not going to be able to shoot that. And then he just goes, well, for one, how do you fire it? Two, how do you load it? And three, and I was like, if you don't know any of that, my answer still stands clearly. And I was also like, if you try to shoot anything through that, I'm pretty sure it's just going to blow up. I was like, the inside of that barrel looks terrible. I was like, it looks like the thickness of those pennies that you put through the press at the zoos whenever you want the commemorative penny. Like if you even tried to shoot a rock through it, it might blow that thing up. And I was just like, you could try. I'll be in the other room.
That thing wouldn't survive a Nerf dart.
Pretty much. So, but yeah, this poor guy, he was inches away from death, and it was all so that he could try to look badass. And hate to tell you, he probably did. He probably looked pretty badass.
Yeah, as he's bleeding on the ground.
All right. So you ready to wrap this up? I think this has been a pretty good episode.
Wrap it up like a banana flavored condom, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Which you are going to have to chew for us one day. So
Can I
We'll see if.
Can I encourage everybody to get out there and vote still?
Go for it.
Hey, man, get it.
We're all going to do that.
I checked today to make sure I was registered because I had to try and register twice, and they finally let me register the second time.
You can't.
Although I did ask for a mail-in ballot, and they would not give me one. I don't know why. Yep.
They thought you were going to try to vote twice, man.
Yeah.
So you kept registering twice. There's like, this dude's trying to get 2 votes, and that ain't happening.
Yeah, funny enough, he voted one way and then voted the other way. So kind of just canceled himself out. I don't really...
He did. You don't really know what's going on there. Hey, well, if people need incentive, there's a guy in Montana that's like sending out vibrators in the colors of red, white, and blue for this upcoming election. If people, especially women, like pledge to vote on November 3rd, and he's got like a total of like over 2,000 vibrators that he'll send out.
So, I like how he says like specifically women, but not necessarily women. Like you can be like, you know what, whoever wants to, probably just 18 up. Well, you have to be 18 up to vote anyway. So he's in the
I think he said women, but you know, everybody's vote counts equally. So
yeah,
it's like Erotique or something like that, I think was the store's name, but it's like to inspire like civic duty and also gender equality in the bedroom. The one of the best parts about it is the vibrators come with a sticker that says "I came and I voted." Oh my gosh. I wrote down a quote from this guy. Oh yeah. Okay, so he said that November 30 is termed the Great American Orgasm. He says it is not a Republican orgasm or a Democratic orgasm. It is an American orgasm. Someone has to help us all come together.
I can oddly get behind.
No. This is a really good idea.
It's clever, yeah.
Although in my head you read that as like Joe Exotic. Like I feel like that's a real Joe Exotic quote.
He's never going to financially recover from this. I mean, 2,000 vibrators. I mean, it's probably a lot of money. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, how much does it cost to actually make a vibrator? I bet that whoever he bought these from didn't want to turn too much of a profit on this because it was they're getting a kickback for taxes.
Hell yeah, dude. That's American. You're getting a tax write-off on red, white, and blue condoms that you're giving out on election
condoms.
day.
It's a vibrator.
If that's
guy.
not
vibrator.
Sorry. If that's not the most American sentence since the Declaration of Independence was signed, I don't know what is.
What a way to end.
It really is.
What a way to end. Delvin, where can they find us?
Hey, you can find us on at Can't Sit Still Pod on Twitter, and you can find us at Can't Sit Still Pod at gmail.com. That is our email. You can also find us on TikTok at 2020 Broadcasting. And then also we
have one video.
We do. We have one video, and we're looking at getting more. We're working on that. The other part, you can obviously Jason here, a good friend of ours, much recently found good friend of ours, but I feel like we're becoming great friends already. He is on another podcast, the Mind Grenade podcast. They've been on one time already, and we really enjoy all the help that they've been able to provide to us, and also the quality content that we get to listen to. So if you can, or not if you can, you should want to go and listen to these fine gentlemen's podcast. Well, you know what? I wouldn't say Jason's a fine gentleman. He's a scoundrel, and but he's a funny scoundrel. So you're gonna enjoy your time there.
Scoundrel.
Yeah, but a scoundrel's gonna be good. Yeah, you know. I looked that word up in the thesaurus, and so I am going to go ahead and leave that there. We're working on some other projects, but we'll get back to you.
I looked up trying to make a website today, and boy, is it complicated.
That's a Jacob thing to do. So yeah, just if you would rate and review us if you end up listening to the audio podcast on Apple iTunes or Spotify, and if you're on YouTube, please leave a comment or rate and review us there, as in give us one of these or one of these. If you think we deserve one of these, give us one of these.
Everyone on the audio, he's putting a thumbs down.
This many stars, guys.
Yeah.
Do you remember when YouTube did stars?
Many. So
what'd you say, JJ?
I said, do you remember when YouTube did stars? They used to.
Yeah, used to.
Really?
Oh my God, that. Jacob, I got something I got to talk to you about after this, by the way, because you're not going to believe it. Not going to believe it at all. It's the craziest shit. But anyways, thank you everybody for listening.
What a cliffhanger, everybody. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you everybody. Have a good night.